Can you? Good morning, good morning. Welcome to WMPR 98.1, 4th of July special. And here today, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the 4th of July special. And today we have the Association of the South Jackson Neighborhoods here with us today at WMPR 98.1. And to my left, I want to let Ashley introduce herself.
My name is Jody Bird, Vice President of the Association of South Jackson Neighborhoods, and currently Vice President of Carriage Hills Homeowners Association.
And to my right, can you introduce yourself, sir?
Yes, my name is Ernest Ward, the President of Association of South Jackson Neighborhood and President of Cedar Hill Subdivision.
And can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, what do you do with the association? First of all, let the viewers know, the audience know exactly what do you do.
Well, first of all, a little bit about myself. I am a retired law enforcement officer, state probation officer. I work with the JPD Reserve Office, and I work in the neighborhood community. In the community as the president of Ashlands, like I said before, in Cedar Hill.
And so what actually got you involved with the Association of South Jackson Neighborhoods?
Well, I've always been involved in neighborhood community, but I heard about this organization some time back. I think it was about 6 years, and it was already established at the time. Other people were not involved, so I decided to, be a part of it. And all of a sudden, I became president of the association.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the association? Like a little bit of the backdrop of it.
Association, South Jackson Neighborhood when it started.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Association of South Jackson Neighborhoods originally started in 1979 as a way of a community to come together in the South Jackson area to talk about cops more and issues dealing with the police department and what's up. ASJAN, as is currently known now, composed of wards 4, 5, 6, and 7. Like Ernest said, he took over it 8 years ago. Prior to that, it was just Miss Jeannie Seeley, who shout out to her to thinking about and still keeping this dream alive of making sure that we get a viable, livable, growing South Jackson. Ernest took over 6 years ago, and I came on about 3 years ago, give or take, as the vice president. And since then, we've been trying to collectively collaborate between the neighborhoods and associations, making sure we address not just some issues, but all issues. We took it from a cops more to a 501c3 nonprofit organization where we go out and try to fill in the blanks on things that either local government, state government, or national government is not addressing.
And what are some of the challenges that you have faced over the past, 6 years, 8 years now? Over the last 6 years.
Over the last 6 years is getting our elected officials who work for us to make sure that they do their jobs. I mean, we all know that we're strapped for resources, but ain't nothing greater than the resource of coming together and working together. If you took an oath to take the position, that means you got to take on the position and take on the task of making sure that you do your job.
Say that, clarify that one more time to our audience, because that is a very, very profound what you just said.
Some odd reason, most elected officials, when they're running for office, you can't get rid of them because they always giving you your push cards, showing up in your neighborhood, walking through the streets, the airports, byways, everything, telling you what they can do once they get in those positions. Once they get in those positions, sometimes they go silent. And your work should speak for you, not you. I'm okay with not seeing you on news, but I need to make sure that those potholes are covered, those ordinances are taken care of, the kids are educated so they can be in a global market. I need to see all those things that you say you could do before you ran, and now that you're in those positions, we need to make sure that you can do the job that you said you can task to do. If not, like anything else, you hire you, we can let you go.
Can you tell us how? Because are you originally from Jackson, Mississippi?
No, I'm originally from Mound Bayou, Mississippi, about 130 some miles north on Highway 61. all-black town that was established by a slave owner years ago. Uh, and I migrated from there to Jackson, Mississippi for a better life uh, years ago, about 30 some years, or over 30 years ago.
So does the association only deal with the issues for South Jackson?
No, and I'm gonna give you a little my background too. I'm
Okay.
from the Mississippi Delta also. I'm from a little community called Spring Hill, which is 5.5 miles outside of Shaw, Mississippi, which is in Sunflower County. As Ernest said, he's from Mount Bayou. We transplant from the Mississippi Delta down here to the Jackson metro area. And as Jan, even though the name says Association of South Jackson Neighborhoods, we work with everyone throughout the whole city of Jackson.
Okay.
We've also, if you go to our website, www.asjn.org, and click on community events, you'll see that we not only help South Jackson area, but we all over Jackson. And we also did a project which included giving learning aids to special need kids. After we took care of all the South Jackson schools, we took care of Itabena, schools in Itabena. We took care of all 3 schools in Ruleville, which is the home place and birthplace of Fannie Lou Hamer. We had enough aides that we also took care of Shaw, Mississippi, where I'm from, in a learning center that advocated helping kids in the weekends and
some of the things that people can do that they need to understand how important it is to help. Because back in the early 90s, Jackson was the place to be. I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee, and I also, in the early 90s, Jackson was just like the south of Atlanta, the closest to which you had Atlanta. So now you talked about the potholes, which is a very interesting thing to mind. Those that are, just fixing the sewage problems, the water problems and all that. So what are one of the things, your mission for the association? What are some of the things you want the audience to know that is very vital for those that live here in the Jackson surrounding counties?
I'm glad you said that. Since it's Independence Day, and I thought about the original 13 colonies, most people don't know the history of Jackson. When they received their first black mayor, Mayor Harvey Johnson, the Mayor Maynard Jackson and Andrew Young were at his inauguration. They came and gave a blueprint because Jackson is set up similar to a mini Atlanta. And thanks to Senator Henry Kersey, we no longer have what's considered North Jackson, South Jackson, West Jackson. We have wards. And each one of those wards have an elected official that's supposed to be responsible for the individuals in the neighborhoods within those particular wards. And unfortunately, over the time, we've gotten away from trying to get the quality of life. Just like in school, you have an A plus, B, and C. We have forgotten that we are also trying to increase our quality of life. And we keep hiring or selecting or whatever you want to call it instead of electing those who are going to make sure that they have our best interests at heart. And City of Jackson still going to be the capital of Mississippi, no matter what the demographics are. We should be the crown jewel of the whole state.
Yes.
But instead, you kind of see pockets of greatness and then a whole lot of disparities.
Do you think there's going to take a revolution of getting someone of a different race in to kind of revamp Jackson?
I'm going to tell you about me. It's a difference between WHITE and RIGHT. Like Ernest said, he's from Mount Bayou, all black town. Successful black town. I'm from the Mississippi Delta. The community I came from, 65% college graduates, which is amazing. The thing is working together collectively. Now, I want those phones to light up since today is Independence Day for those who hadn't started barbecuing, particularly the ones in wards 4, 5, 6, and 7. If you are concerned about your community and your ward, we need you to call if you are a president or vice president or hold a position in your neighborhood. If you don't have a elected person in your neighborhood, we're looking for and seeking those individuals who can be consistent in trying to make things happen.
I wanted to ask you a question. I lived in Jackson for 10 months. That's all I could take of having the boil water coming from Memphis and having sewage problems and all that. And I hurried up and went to Rankin County because where I felt safe, the taxes wasn't high. And so there's no way you could get me to believe to move back to Hinds County. So what can you say to people that are actually rather pay the high cost of living to feel safe and then to come to try to trust the government, because I've been here 5 years and nothing has changed with Jackson within itself. So what's going to make a difference between then and now?
Leadership. We had poor leadership on City of Jackson.
I'm so glad you said that.
And we're going to make a change at the Association of South Jackson Neighborhood. We have been making changes. A lot of times when things are so great and what you do, it don't seem much. But we making steps.
What steps are you making?
On June 18th, we went down to the city council board meeting, and we were very adamant about leaders of this city and what they have done to us. Now we cannot put all the blame on them. We got to blame ourselves for allowing them to do what they did to us. Ajay decided that we weren't going to take it anymore. Mm-hmm. Leadership must change.
Who started with the mayor of Jackson?
We started from the mayor, the head up, all the way to his administration. It got to change. Because, Charles Evans used to say that Black folks be in charge now. Mm-hmm. We got to stop blaming white folks for our problem.
Say that one more time.
We got to stop blaming white folks for our problem. Stuff that's happened to us, it's our fault. And on the June 18th, when we went down to the city council, I normally don't go to city council meeting because I have seen people go down there and talk 3 minutes. They give and they don't do nothing but, okay, we'll look into it. That's what we've been getting for 7.5 years. And we got our water is bad, been taken over by a third party. We couldn't even get a garbage contract together for years and caused all these problems for people that fighting and acting the food down there. Our police department has been changed. All this because of this leadership. And one thing Black folks, what we have to understand is that this is about friends. This is about quality of life. Mm-hmm. And what we was down there for, because things that we are paying for, code enforcement. And I believe, and no one would not say no, if code enforcement for the city of Jackson had been enforced, our city would not look like it does right now. And what I mean by code enforcement, people taking care of their property. 18-wheelers coming in our neighborhoods. ATVs riding all down the street. People running red lights. All this is code enforcement that we are paying for and not getting. We talk about people not cutting their grass. People got junk cars all in their yard, working on it. Pit bulls running loose. All these things. And I do want to say this. Our mayor have not been to South Jackson that I know of. Even Dr. Omar. My understanding is that our mayor live in a gated community. Our Dr. Omar don't even live in the city. So how can I believe they care about us? You care about people by going down and meeting the people's needs. They have not done it. They have not shown no direction they are interested in care about the people that live in South Jackson. And as Jane decided, we're not going to take it anymore. We're going to move forward. And I want to say for the city of South Jackson, Ward 4, Ward 5, and Ward 6, and 7, you need to get off of your butt, get involved, and start talking about your education. Start talking about how good you can talk and get some work done. And that's what's killing us. We need people going to do some work. We need people going to serve their community. If you are a leader in your community, start holding positions and not doing anything you want to be important. All you all go to church. One thing Jesus, Almighty God said, if you want to be great, serve. If Almighty God can say that, what's wrong with us? What we want to do, we got money. We want people to serve us. But if you want to be great, serve the people that you claim that you love. Jesus told his disciples, if you love me, keep my commandments. If you love City of Jackson, give us the quality of life that we are paying for. But my thing is this, that we are not getting that. And we at South Jackson going to change that. And how we going to change that by the leadership of this city? We're going to change it. And I am saying for Ward 4, Ward 5, Ward 7, we got over 60,000 people. If nobody else going to vote, we should take this city ourselves.
Just South Jackson, South and West Jackson, we can end or control this city if we get off our butt and vote. I cannot say it no plainer than this. We already took steps. We came down to the city council. We told them they had 3 to 5 days to respond to our demands. They did respond, but that's just the beginning. We letting them know, putting them on notice. Your leadership, the mayor, you got about 10 more months to do your job. If you don't, we're gonna make some changes. Now, all you all down there not doing your job, you better be looking for one because we're gonna make a change down there in coming next year because we are tired. And half of the folks that work Jackson Police Department, the fire department, most of them don't even live in the city. They live in surrounding county. So how can I end up get them to care about where I live when they live in surrounding counties? That most of them are going through motion. A lot of them just spending times, they're 8 hours. And if I look at and they come to your community and they don't show any interest or they care about what you are concerned about. And it's all about leadership. If you got weak leadership, you're going to have a leader of people that you end up supervise or people that you end up monitor that going to feel the same way about you. They don't care. You don't care. So guess what? We got a city don't care, and that's why our city look like it look like right today.
To be honest, I always be like, the movie called Show Me the Money. Mississippi, there's money here. And a lot of people, I'm not going to say any names, are actually sitting on it, especially through the COVID pandemic. You know, there's a lot of governmental funding that came in to help out. You know, so Mississippi was giving big, I don't know the actual dollar amount, but there has been research done that Mississippi, those in elected, they have the money. They choose you have a lot of people that's food stamp fraud, a lot of fraud going on. So how can you convince someone that's staying in South Jackson paying $1,000 a month, I call it living in a hood, or living in North Jackson, paying high rent and not getting these services? How can you motivate people to want to stay and keep trying to, hold the fort down?
Let me come on first, and then let's see. Last year, before the year ended, we made sure we met with all the elected officials in Hinds County.
Okay.
We set out and tried to meet 3 times for them to come up with a comprehensive plan so we can address some of those monetary funds you're talking about. We sent invitations out from all the city elected officials, all the county elected officials, all the state elected officials, and the federal side to come in and met 3 times at the Jackson Police Department. We met 3 times trying to come up with, okay, how can we get those fundings and the resources from the top to the bottom? Because we already knew at the bottom to the top it's not going to happen. And as we did that, we found out it got less and less because we had more excuses than we did results. In Mississippi, we know it's a transfer payment welfare state. We're a rural state, but there's tons of monies out there because we had grants out there that can address any of the needs that we need. Unfortunately, we can't get everybody to talk to everybody else to try to fix some of those problems. To me, it behooves me. I'm gonna give you something as simple as cutting grass. If the city cutting the grass, the county cutting the grass, and the state cutting the grass, you would think that they'd work together on cutting the grass together, unless I'm missing something. The same thing with all the rest of them, you saying the resources and the money. So it ain't the idea that we hadn't reached out to them, but getting back to us is the problem. They keep forgetting that they work for us. And I'm just gonna let you have the question.
Well, one thing our leaders don't understand, they work for us. And we got to get back from the beginning of why elected officials in place in the first place to serve their community. Now, we live in Hinds County, the largest county in the state, and Bolivar County is the 2nd largest, if I'm mistaken. I know we get to talk about East Jackson, West Jackson, South Jackson. But one thing I want everybody to look at, there's one body and many members.
Yes.
I understand you elected for a certain ward or a certain side of the town. But I learned a long time ago, if you want to have a healthy Hinds County, it's East Oval is doing well. Why not East Oval reach out to West Jackson? Why not, if South Jackson doing well, why won't reach out to the other part of the city? And what you do, that's talking about work together and have a strong Hinds County. If we start talking about, West Jackson or South Jackson or East Jackson, if we talk about let's have a healthy county. I think that we will, our city will be a lot better instead of say, well, I'm doing the best for my folks. Well, if you Harris County, why not end up doing for all your people?
Yeah.
And so we need to get out of that mindset. I understand, take care of your people, but at the same time, if you have X over money, spread it to the other part that need it. And if we end up learning that, I think we will have a better city. But get back to these elected officials. We as Ashing, and we want our people to understand is that nothing get done in Harris County without the citizens. They elect them, tell them what we want. Well, we got now people doing what they want to do, how they want to do it, and other people being left out.
Mm-hmm.
But we want everybody to be active. We want everybody to be healthy. And you would probably say, oh, these are questions that I would ask them. If you believe that if they enforce the code enforcement, will we have a good city?
Mm-hmm.
Most people would say yes. If you believe that if we get people to cut their grass, get junk cars off of their property, that right there will increase property value.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get 18-wheelers start running in our neighborhoods and people parking, and we need to get some, and just pause, we need to get some of these folks that drive these 18-wheelers, let call their boss, let them know they are violating city orders. And if they keep doing it, their truck gonna get pulled. And see, but we don't need to tell them that. But I say those folks that to enforce these laws need to do their job. If you say that 18-wheelers should not come in residential areas and end up not stay on the street, why not we hold these folks accountable? And our problem is that we've been doing this stuff so long, people think we're right. They see when you do stuff so wrong, so long, so wrong, you're gonna have a problem dealing with those people when you're trying to get them to do what's right because they've been doing it so long.
Mm-hmm.
So city officials, we've been doing so wrong in this city. It's gonna take a lot to get this city back in place, but we got to start somewhere. And I believe the first thing we need to start getting these city orders, correcting these city orders, and let people know that if you do not follow these city orders, you're going to be fined, or we don't send you to the restitution
Well,
center.
you come to the right place. WMPR 90.1 is the voice of the community, and people historically have to look back over when you think about that if there's someone else that we're stepping on the foundations and what they had to do, because Black was not always free. And a lot of times, why the phone lines are silent this morning, because you're telling the truth, Black people don't want to hear it, they become silent. It's more than just sitting down, if you look at the history, because you took time out just this morning to bring an awareness. When you're speaking the truth, telephones are silent. But if you're telling a lie, you get 50,000 likes.
And it's a sad thing. I agree with you 100%. You look at all the people in South Jackson, all the stuff that's been happening over the years, people in South Jackson, they have not done nothing but just talk. And people don't take you serious. One thing I learned a long time ago, if you start affecting people's pocketbook, change will come. If we get serious about this city, start finding these folks for bringing the 18-wheelers in the neighborhood, ATVs run these red lights, I guarantee you, they will stop. Because one thing about it, we want to continue to talk this Black stuff. What I mean by Black stuff, we want to talk about the police. But guess what? When I look on the TV, who killing each other? It's Black people. Who carrying the AR-15? Black people. But we all want to talk about poor folk, poor Black folk. Look, I work every day. I retired. I can't afford an AR-15. You got 14 years old, 15 years old carrying an AR-15, but they want to holler around they poor Black people. They driving big cars that I don't even drive. They got rims on their cars that I can't afford. They got radios speaking, and what they doing with those radios and those big tires, what they are doing is harassing people in the neighborhood. They go to work every day, trying to live and make a honest, and they coming with those loud music and don't have no respect for elderly people or any respect for people that are sick in the neighborhood. They don't care. And the reason why they don't care, because it's the leader. The leader, I cannot stress this enough, that the leaders want to make everything turn.
We have a call this morning. Joshua Griffin. Call you on the air.
Just saying, like, with the children nowadays, they hadn't been brought up right. It starts in the home. It starts with the parents raising a child to a degree where they can adapt and function in society. Because nowadays, it seems like it's been raised off technology. You got 4 or 5-year-old kids with cell phones, and it's like technology where Facebook is becoming a problem, and TikTok and YouTube and all them other social media platforms that's brainwashing the youth.
How would you address that
I'm
question?
glad you said that, because I'm gonna tell you, I retired also. I'm the first black analyst in the Jackson Police Department. Facebook, TikTok, all those are algorithms, black people. It's designed to try to change your thought process. Anytime kids know sexy red, don't know the alphabet, something wrong with that child and that parent. Nobody,
Right.
no one, behavior is a learned trait. Just coming into the radio station, I saw a young man walk past 2 garbage cans and throw the paper on the ground. First thing hit me was, see, it's a radio station. But Jackson people, growing up in the country, my father, we had a farm, we raised hogs and pigs. I understand if you want to be in a dirty, trashy environment, but there's better things for us. I can't think.
Because not to cut you off, but like when I was coming up, I was responsible raised to the point where my stepfather had a lawnmower, and me being 10, 11 years old, my brother being 2 years older than me, we used to cut grass, and we used to ride bicycles and play basketball on basketball goals and stuff like that, and do cartwheels and flips. And now the children, it's like it's lazy as down.
It's the algorithm of the internet and the Facebook and the Grand Theft Auto and a variety of different other things. The music they listen to, whatever you take in becomes a part of you, whether it's negative or positive. Now the churches are going empty, but the clubs are filling up. So that light bulb ought to come on. I want to challenge these pastors and those who got that phone call, at least picked up the phone and said they will call to preach. I want to make sure that they get these young folks in their church. I need to make sure that they be responsible. I want to talk to these sisters that go pick these brothers that knowing that when they got them because they were male, they weren't men. I want to challenge them to man up. I want these sisters that say that my grandmama taught me how to cook, taught me how to be respectful. I want them brothers that know how to dress before they change.
They will make them have a good home.
Hey, there you go. If I tell all these sisters, you got fake everything, you're never gonna find a real brother. Let me just tell you right now. I want the phone to light up. I want all these fake sisters looking for a real man to call the station. If you're talking about you want to do something, stand up, a woman up. Again, if you want to say you want to save Jackson, say the capital of Mississippi, we sick and tired of being sick and tired people. It's our moment, our time. It's Independence Day. It's our awakening now. We can't wait on others to come save us. SOS is a stretch call saying save ourselves.
Well,
remember that.
I'm going to intervene because I am a single black entrepreneur woman, and I have a question to ask both you guys. What is the definition of a real man? Because we live in the times where your sexuality, you don't know if they don't check male or female. They got binary. They got this. Because I called Mr. Griffin, and I want you to answer because I want to know. I'm tired. I'm 52. I'm tired, working hard, and they want you to take care of us. What's your definition of a real black man?
A real black man, for one.
Go ahead.
Well, first of all, you got to be a God-fearing man.
Right.
That's the first thing. If you got a person that loves God, and all of us know this, the Bible, Jesus talked about, when the Pharisees was talking about what is the greatest commandment. Jesus, and it was over 600 some commandments. Jesus summed it up in 2. He said, love thy God with all thy might, with all thy soul.
Love thy neighbor.
And guess what? He ain't said nothing about you yet. He said, and yourself, love your neighbor. So when you can do that, see, when you love God, you're not going to steal from your neighbor. If you love God, you're going to know how to treat one. You will know how to work. You will know how to take care of home. When you love God.
Slow that down just a little bit. I want everybody to put that barbecue down and listen to this again.
Because when you love God first, remember that anything you do wrong, you sin to God first, and then your neighbor. And I want to say this too. When David took Uriah's wife, when Nathan came to him and told him about a story about a man having evil life. Everybody knows. But get what David said. David said, I sinned against you, Lord. He didn't say you're right. See, first of all, whatever we do, we sin to God, and then we sin, then also our neighbor. So if you love God, we won't be stealing from our neighbor. We won't be shooting each other because we love God first, and then the second until it's your neighbor. So my thing is this: a good man, first of all, he a God-fearing man.
He God-fearing man. He don't really care about so much of having a weapon to protect his woman, because he knows if he got God on his side, and God is all with them all the time and everywhere he goes.
Okay, Carla, we're gonna have to thank you for tuning in. We got another call.
Okay.
Carla, you on the air.
I just want to interject one thing. I'm totally agreeing with the person that before we can have a right relationship with himself or with man. But Jesus said like this: except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. Except a man be born again.
I'm gonna interject in. I understand that, because they have God in their life, but what makes them? My question is, what are the components? As a young woman, outside of the religion, because people use religion as a play card. They put on a front, and they're not being authentically themselves. Because nowadays we have to look at the youth. We have to look at the different generational gaps, because nowadays there's so many different things that are taken away because they can't identify themselves as some of them don't. We're living in a world where gender is all over the globe. So how can you tell a young person what is a real man?
And like I was saying, first of all, we know that God is the standard. But let's get to the other part. And I think that what she was, first of all, you got to find a man that first love himself. And when he loved himself, he learned how to love other people. And see, when he learned how to love other people, he will work. Not only that, he will work, he would take care of his family. Not only that he'll take care of his family, he would take care of his neighbor. He would take care of his neighborhood. All those things end up, we can go on about things, but these are some of the things that we got to put in first. And not only that, we know how to treat a woman. You see, I'm gonna tell you a problem with a lot of our women today. A lot of times that we end up, women's got the job, they got the house, they got all the things necessary, and we don't have anything. But the women, I want to talk with you for a minute. Start letting us come in your house with a crocus hat. Don't have anything. Stop letting us do this. Is this man don't have no standards? Don't let him come in your house. And my whole thing is, these men today tends to end up want to look for a woman that have the job, want to have the house, want to have all those things. But the woman got to look to the point that what do the man bring to the table? Bring to the table. So that's very important that you got to understand what you bring to the table, the man. And see, but what we doing now, we got men, so you know how to cut the grass.
Okay, Carla, go ahead and give your last comment.
I was saying, right now, we have in the city of Jackson, we got a church on every corner and one in the middle of the room.
Amen.
And we're not concerned about getting people saved. We're concerned about membership. So, hey, join a family. You got to be born again. You got to be born into a family. So when people, the culture that we live in, is not predicated upon moral values. It's predicated upon materialism and the things of a carnal nature. And when a person is focused on those things, he can be deceived and he can be misled and he can be encouraged to do a lot of things that are in direct contrast to God, which subsequently is detrimental to himself. So we got to get people in a right relationship with God. We need a moral foundation. When people have a good moral compass, all these things that y'all speak of will naturally come under the unction of the Holy Spirit with the presence of God in that person. So we need to get folks saved. And folks want to be saved. We don't want to have a good house.
Are you willing to
We
get
don't wanna have a
involved?
good home.
Are you willing to get
I'm
involved? Are
already
you willing to
involved.
stand up?
Yeah, I'm already involved. I'm already standing up because I'm implementing these principles in my life, and I'm implementing them in the life of my children.
Okay, we're going to. Can you give out the number? I want to give out the
Yeah.
number to.
Ask them. We're looking for men and women that are willing to work towards solutions, not problems. You know, I tell people all the time, it's mathematically impossible to have problems. It's rules of application. You can reach out to us on www.asjn.org, or you can call us, Mr. Ernest Ward, at 601-201-3020, or me, Johnny Bird, 601-720-9965. Again, if you in wards 4, 5, 6, and 7, and sick and tired of being sick and tired, we're looking for you to stand up and rise up so we can raise our capital up.
Thank you so much. I have another call. Call, you on the air? Hello, call, you on the air? Call, you on the air? WMPR, this morning we're here with ASJN. Call, you on the air?
Thank you. I would like to add on to what they were saying. But what is the most important thing is Bible. But the next important thing is discipline. These children do not know anything about discipline. They curse in front of old people. They curse in front of anybody. And then you hear them going around talking to their children, 3 and 4 years old, they talk to them like they're grown men. That's not teaching a child. You got to love that child, first of all, and show that child love. But the most important, whip him if he do something wrong. Don't care where he does it at, whip him. Don't be letting the law tell you what you can do to your child. You got grown folks scared to hit their children. If you in my house, I'll beat the paint off of you. We're going to have some discipline. And when you leave out my house, you see an old person, you go open that door closed. You ain't going to run over. Now, that's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you for this morning. This morning, WMPR, we're here this morning with ASJN, the Association of South Jackson Neighborhoods. Good gracious, this is the 4th of July. We're getting hot up in here. 601-201-3020. President Ernest Ward, the Jackson Association. That question put heat up on folks. They decided we speaking the truth. They want to wake up. So what's your version? I mean, I understand. And so one of the things, because like I said, a lot of nowadays, you got older men, younger women, older men, and then you got those that's in between. So we're trying to gather we live in a very diverse world. And I want you to speak out, at 10:45 this morning. What is your version? Okay, I love God, don't get me wrong, but that's like a player card.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, I go to church 7 days a week, 365 days of the year. I understand that. But when you strip down everything, because you're only good as your leadership.
That is correct.
If you don't live by it, you can preach Bible all day long, but you're not living by it. And like everything you're saying, how's a single woman like me, like, okay, next.
I'm glad you said that. You don't just read the word, you become the word. Again, since Adam and Eve, we already know what the instructions are. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, we can't follow instructions or direction. If a sister trying to find a real man, she got to have it in her heart to make sure that she understands what a real man, the definition of what a real man is.
What if she don't know?
She don't know, again, you learn. In life, you either add, multiply, or subtract, divide, even in a relationship. If he or she don't have anything of value, and we're all saying the same thing, it starts with self. If you're so insecure about self that you allow anything and everything to come into your space and into your life, you expect to get the negative if you're looking at the negative. You find those positive people so that you can surround yourself so that you can grow as a group, as an individual, as a society, as a neighborhood. All you have to do is leave outside of Jackson and you see a dramatic change in culture. It's not the idea is a black and white thing, it's a mindset thing.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. Now, because a lot of African-American males on the mental aspect don't understand that they have issues.
They have issues.
So what do you say to a woman? Because like I said, being in the field, a therapeutic field, and most of the clients that I have are either of a different race. They are not African-American black men. So a lot of them now they have mental issues. So not only you trying to get out of the date, but you got to see they mentally,
I'm glad you
psychologically sound.
the day was the 4th of July. We're gonna try to self-medicate ourselves. We're either gonna smoke bang weed, which now this something young brothers and sisters, they legalized marijuana. They did not legalize smoking fentanyl on the street. That's two different things. And same thing with drinking. We try to self-medicate. We just said about the Lord and Jesus and going to some spirituality. It's so many denominations. But we all know there's only one God. We serve him. Right now, he should be that inspiration because you don't know your expiration. I'm gonna say this again, listening people. He should be our inspiration because we don't know our expiration. And for us to come here into this world through love and then trash ourselves and trash our neighbors is beyond me. And people of color ought to know that more than anybody because we went through slavery. We went through Jim Crow, still going through.
I want to know about the mental aspect. Call you on the air.
Yeah, back when he was talking about with love thy neighbor and thyself, and you love your neighbor, you love thyself, and love God with all your heart, mind, and soul, right? Okay, in the Bible, according to the Bible, it says, light a sweet incense.
Okay, the reason why I'm cutting you off is because the question is, as a black male, there's a lot of black men that at a certain age before they get 25, they start exhibiting issues of schizophrenia. And one of the questions, as a single black woman, I wanted to know, why is there a decline of the black male going to get mental health? They need to go see a therapist or a counselor when they need help instead of turning to drugs.
Let me say this here, that first of all, we have too many singers. We have too many singers.
I can manage the mirror because see, I'm military myself. I can make so many hours. But see, we all ain't perfect. God dwells within our soul, but the devil is more of our mind. So it's like a spiritual warfare. You see what I'm saying? But that's part of being a good man. A good man is going to make sure you protect it without having you worry about, oh, well, that man will come over there and talk to me. Or, oh, that man going to come over here and talk wild for protection.
What I want to, the question is that, first of all, we have too many single women raising young men. That's a problem. And I'll tell you the reason why it's a problem. A woman cannot give that boy what he needs. He's gonna take a man. Now I want you to keep in mind. Now we had women that had raised boys. They turned out pretty good. I'm not knocking it, but it's still a component in missing. A woman.
Carla, can you turn your radio down a little bit?
And see, we got too many single women. Carla,
turn your radio down a little bit, please.
Okay, it's down.
And what happened is this: those boys are missing a component, and a woman cannot give them what that boy needs. It take a real man, not just a man. It take a real. Now it worked. Yeah, it worked. Right, it worked the same way. A boy cannot raise he can raise a girl, a daughter, but he raised that daughter. She gonna be missing something because that man cannot give that daughter what she needs. So what we got here, we got a lot of our women. We got a lot of our women. Let me say this, Carl. Let me say this.
To the guy when he was saying about how the kids talk today, a 4-year-old talk to a grown adult like, you do what I tell you to do. Now you do what I tell you to do.
What I'm trying to get you to see is this: that that woman, a single woman raising that boy, she gonna protect that boy, and she gonna protect that boy the best of her ability. But see, same time, she do not have the skill set of a man, what God said in place in the beginning. So we need strong, good men for these boys. And this is not happening. That's why our boys come up where they are. That's why they do the things they do, because it's a problem with a single woman raising no boys. It need a real man to raise those boys and teach them how to be a man. Teach them how to end up do things in the yard. Teach them how to cut grass. Teach them how to work. Keep them to end up to take care of their family. It take a real man to do that, even though a woman tell it, but it's not there for a woman can do that.
Your last comment.
Okay, he's saying about the real man. I want to challenge the real women. Just because you're born female does not make you a woman. It just be more that men have the X and the Y chromosome, but for the real women out there, they understand that it took two to get that one child here. It takes a village to raise that one child. That's what ASDAN is. We're a village concept. We're not trying to say, don't be you, but we want the collective collaboration of those people that want to correct. If you live in wards 4, 5, 6, and 7, have the time and the resources to come help us, we ask them that you come in. We ain't trying to not be you, but we need the positivity to make sure that we can fix our city. Starting with the South Jackson area, which ASDAN and Ernest and I and the others that collaboratively work together are trying to resolve some of these issues.
And ask Jane, you can be the Association of South Jackson Neighborhoods. The number is 601-201-3020.
Or 601-720-9965.
And what's that website?
Go to the website, www.asjn.org. We are a 501c nonprofit, meaning people, we don't get paid to do this. This is something we're doing because we see the need to have it done. Again, I'm always stressed about mathematics. And you want to be able to add and multiply, never subtract and divide, even within our Black communities. And since it's Independence Day, let us be dependent on one another. Like the 13 colleges, the reason why we did this from 1692 to 1775, what were we doing? So I want to make sure that we do what we have to do.
We want to thank you guys for your time today. And also, Dr. Eldred Henderson is returning to WMPR 90.1 next Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. The Real News, July 11th. Put this date on your calendar. Again, Dr. Eldred Henderson is returning to WMPR 90.1 next Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. The Real News, July 11th. Put this on your date and also on your calendar.